If you're a corporate guy over 35 and you're tired all the time, even though, you try to work out, you try to sleep and you drink a bunch of caffeine, but you're still super low energy. The problem is not your age, it's not your motivation, it's not your discipline. It's how your life is structured and it's the systems you have in place. Most men try to fix low energy by doing more. More caffeine, more pushing through, more discipline, more grit. And that's exactly why you feel worse. You don't have an energy problem, you have a leverage problem, and your body is a system that's been poorly maintained. In this video, I'm gonna show you how corporate men actually regain energy without waking up at 5 a.m., without extreme diets, and without turning their life upside down. This is about fixing the few things that are draining you every single day. I coach corporate men over 35, managers, desk workers, and the pattern is always the same. High stress, low recovery, and a lifestyle that kills metabolism and even kills your testosterone. Here's the truth most people won't tell you. Your low energy isn't from your job or from stress. It's low because you're overweight, you never move, and you're hormonally wrecked. And you use artificial energy to try and fix it, but no amount of coffee or willpower actually will. And so until you address that, nothing else actually works. So let me show you the first thing you need to fix if you want your real energy back. And no, it's not keto, it's not hours and hours of cardio, and it's not gritting your teeth to try to make it through. So the number one most important thing to consider is that you've optimized your life for one domain, and you think that this is normal. You built your career, your work looks clean, the results speak for themselves. People respect, some of the things you've done in the office, but outside the office, you feel drained, sluggish, you have no energy coming home to your family, and it's like your energy is permanently stuck in low gear. You're chasing performance metrics at work, but you can't seem to show up fully for your family, for your kids, for your spouse, for your wife, or even for yourself in the evenings. You wanna be the man your family can rely on, right? You wanna be the husband, you wanna be the leader, you wanna be the dad, but your energy, your health, your confidence probably aren't matching that image. You've got the mindset of a winner at work, but when you look in the mirror and when you look at yourself in family photos, you're embarrassed. You're unhappy with who you see in those photos and in the mirror. And your body and your daily habits haven't caught up. So listen, let me just say this first. The first thing you need to take away is that you focused and prioritized on the wrong thing for far too long. You say that you started to gain fat as soon as you got kids, but now you're not showing up for them because you didn't stay healthy. The more practical solutions are gonna be later on in the video, but the first thing I need you to hear is that that has to change. You need to prioritize different things, and you need to build the identity of someone who does exactly that. You need the identity of a fit person. Otherwise, none of the tangible things I'm about to share are actually gonna matter. Because at the end of the day, it's not about numbers, it's not about macros, it's not about the technical number on the scale. It's about becoming who you want to be. So to actually move on to the tangible, your number one issue for why you don't have enough energy is you're overweight and you have absolutely no muscle. What you need to understand is that your belly fat is giving you chronic stress, which is hurting your energy. The belly fat also hurts your testosterone production, and testosterone gives you energy. When you have higher testosterone, you feel more competitive, hard work feels better. It gives you brain fog because it causes you to overeat, or at the very least, you're eating the wrong things, which will give you lethargy. Being overweight also hurts your sleep, and that's bad for obvious reasons, right? If you're not getting enough sleep, you're not recovering, your willpower is lower, your motivation is lower, you're just not gonna have as much energy. Because physically, there's more weight on you, you're gonna have lower energy because you're putting it out on just existing. And another reason you have no energy is because you have absolutely no muscle on your body. You're probably sitting at a desk all day. This is gonna hurt your metabolism, right? So your metabolism is garbage, and having no muscle is actually the real issue for most people. It's not your job, it's not your age, it's not stress. If you don't have muscle on your body, you're not gonna function the way a normal human being should function. I'm tired of hearing people say, oh, well, 35, you start to gain some fat. Oh, that's just how it is. Oh, you younger kids, back when I was your age. No. You're not active, you don't move. You don't actually have the right to say, well, this is how things are. Back when I was this age, back when you were more active, back when you were healthier. Now, let me say this, of course, age does affect things, right? It does lower testosterone. It does slightly affect your metabolism. But at the end of the day, if you're not keeping up with your body, you're not staying fit, if you're not staying lean, then that's the bigger factor. That's the bigger impact than metabolism will ever have. It's not normal to feel the way that you feel every single day, the way you feel when you wake up, when you go to work, when after the lunch break, you feel super tired. when you come home and you have no energy, when you feel that way, that is not normal. That's not how people are supposed to feel. And when you have no muscle, you're gonna burn less fat. When you have muscle in your body, you start to naturally burn more fat. Of course, you have a higher metabolism, so you are gonna do better and your body's gonna perform better at burning fat. And lastly, of course, with less muscle, you produce less testosterone, which goes back to what I said earlier, you're gonna have less energy and drive. So what is the solution? How do I lose this fat, right? It's really simple. Here's a really practical, quick way to do it. You're gonna go into a TDEE calculator. You're gonna find that online. They're super simple. You're gonna put in your age, your weight, your height, your gender, whatever. You're gonna calculate how many calories you need to eat per day to stay at your current body fat. Then you're gonna subtract a couple hundred from that, typically anywhere from 300 to 500 calories. And of course, you're gonna eat that many calories for the next few weeks, the next couple months. And as you lose more weight, you're gonna lower your calories more. You're gonna try to eat higher protein, 1 gram of protein per centimeter of height. And you're gonna do resistance training 3 times per week for 30 minutes. Obviously, all of this is super stupid simple. You can find this information online. This isn't actually special. Knowing what to do isn't the problem. Doing it week after week while work, life, and stress keeps hitting you is. If you want to stop starting over every single Monday and build a system that actually allows you to make progress even when the motivation drops, and become the guy who handles his health the same way he handles his career, be there for your family and be the man you're supposed to be, then DM me the word comeback on Instagram. The link will be in the description, and I'll show you the entire corporate comeback project, A through Z. This is something I started to help men like you regain their confidence and energy. This isn't about diet plans and macros, which you already know. It's about becoming the man you used to be, or becoming the man who you maybe have never been. It's about having energy and vitality and feeling proud of yourself and not needing to hide behind clothes and showing up for your family. But that aside, there is more value in the rest of this video. But if you haven't done that already, go to my Instagram, message me comeback, and then come back to the video and you can keep learning. So the third thing for you to consider when it comes to the tangible things you can change is you use artificial energy instead of real energy. All these things you're doing are going to destroy your long-term energy, and you're chasing peaks instead of sustainability. For example, caffeine. Caffeine destroys your sleep, and after the third cup, nothing really counts anymore. It stops working the way that it should. Basically, you develop this dependence on caffeine, and you're using that to supplement your lack of sleep, and your lack of sleep is being affected by your caffeine. So you gotta lower the caffeine, you gotta cut that down. And of course, when you destroy your sleep, you're killing your body's ability to burn belly fat, and also will give you more stress, which causes other things too. Caffeine is largely a peak and valley, right? You drink the cup, it spikes up and then it crashes back down, and you keep doing that throughout the day. That's not how you have long-term energy, right? You feel a little bit better, and then towards the end of the day, I know when I have too much caffeine, I feel like garbage. I feel so exhausted. And that's why you have no energy. Plus, caffeine spikes your cortisol, which means you're more stressed from all the caffeine. Another thing you're doing is you're spiking your blood sugar with crap food. This kills your energy when you eat food like this, when you eat the crap food, when you're out at client dinners and you're eating so much pasta. I don't have a problem with these things on their own, but when they're done in excess, yeah, you're just spiking your blood sugar. Or if maybe you're eating candy during the day, you're gonna destroy your energy because it spikes up your energy and then it crashes immediately after. You're not eating fuel, you're just eating convenience. And from all the crap food you're eating, you're probably eating in excess, right? Which is causing you to gain even more fat. Another thing that people do in the corporate world is nicotine. This is another source of peaks and valleys of energy. I don't inherently have a problem with it, right? The nicotine itself isn't making you fat or something, but it can be the cause of lower energy. So if you are doing a ton of nicotine, try and cut it back. Don't do too much. It definitely works better when you do less of it, but especially if you use it all the time, then again, you become dependent on it and you have just less overall pure, clean energy. Plus, too much nicotine makes you lethargic as well. So I know that's a little bit more niche. Not everybody does that, but if you are a nicotine user, you don't want to do too much. Another thing that I feel falls into the artificial energy category is entertainment to unwind, right? You feel like you're regaining your energy or you're relaxing, oh, I'm just trying to de-stress, but that's not real de-stressing. The realest form of de-stressing and unwinding is sleeping, right? So if you're awake, you can do something. Entertainment doesn't actually help you recover. It doesn't do anything for you. If you're watching TV or you're watching a game, whatever, this isn't a real source of energy and recovery. And I'm gonna guess you're doing it late at night. If you're doing it late at night, then you're hurting your sleep even more. All of these things that you're doing are affecting your sleep. It's no wonder you feel so groggy in the morning, and maybe you even struggle to sleep at night. Think about all these things you're doing, cut it back. So instead of all of these things you're doing, if you wanna actually start to build more energy rather than just strip it away from your future self, the most paramount thing you can do is you can go to bed on time. You can have good sleep. This is paramount over everything. When you sleep better, you will have more motivation, more willpower. Your testosterone will build better. You'll recover better from your work and from everything you're doing. You'll build more muscle and you'll burn more fat. That is how important sleep is. If you are not getting enough sleep, you are going to miss out on all of these benefits. And not only that, but it will negatively affect you. So make sure you're getting enough sleep. And on top of that, it's a nootropic for work. So you'll actually perform better at work if you're getting more sleep. If you're having caffeine, you stop having it before 12, everything's good. I have caffeine too. It's not a big deal. But when you do it in excess the way you do, yeah, it's stripping away energy from your future self. Something you can do instead of caffeine is you can try general nootropics, help you stay more alert during work, stay sharper. I've tried some of these out. They generally work pretty good. So you could try out some of those things. Next, instead of eating the crap food, eat whole foods, right? Eat high protein, eat your carbs, eat your fats, and generally eat healthier. This is real energy. This will give you real fuel for life, right? Instead of just spiking it up, spiking your energy up and down, you'll have a clean baseline of good energy. And of course, for the nicotine use, slow down, don't too much if that's something you do. And then instead of watching Netflix or watching the game, maybe you could unwind by reading a book. That'll help you fall asleep way faster than scrolling on your phone will. Play games with your kids for extra movement. You can even train while you watch the Netflix, right? If you're training while you're watching the TV, you're moving and you're gonna have more energy than if you didn't do that and you just laid around. I know it's counterintuitive, but that's gonna give you real energy. It's gonna build more muscle. You're gonna burn more fat. You're gonna produce endorphins. You're gonna feel better. That's the best way to do things. And then again, instead of watching the Netflix, just go to bed earlier. Number 4, you're hormonally wrecked. Now, as we've gone over, this is largely because of your excess belly fat, you're not sleeping right, you don't have a good diet, and you're super stressed out, right? Now, this is a terrible cataclysm in your body, and everything hurts the other thing. Fortunately, you don't have to fix one thing first to fix the other. If you do it all at once, it's gonna create an upward trajectory, and you're gonna start to do much better in this area. And there are things we can do outside of these activities and actions I just shared that will increase our testosterone and help us out even more. And so just because I don't want you to miss anything, I'm gonna recap everything I said that will help your testosterone levels. Number 1, resistance training 3 times per week for 30 minutes. Have a better diet, high protein, carbs, fats, everything, whole foods, and of course, sleep well. That's gonna get you 80 to 90% of the way there. And of course, stress hurts your testosterone, but when you do these things, the stress is gonna go down, you're gonna feel better. Again, all of these things are gonna work together to give you better testosterone. But there are extra things we can do to increase testosterone so that we feel better. One of the number 1 things you can do is you can take these supplements. You can take zinc, magnesium, boron, tonka Ali. One of the most important ones and ones that definitely works is taking vitamin D3. You can also take ashwagandha. And then something else you can do, right, is to make sure you're eating cholesterol. Now I know, well, cholesterol is scary, bad, don't eat cholesterol. That's not true, that's all a lie. What you wanna actually do is you wanna make sure you're eating foods like butter, eggs, milk, cheese, red meat. All of these foods will help increase your cholesterol, which will give you higher testosterone. And the last thing is that if you're older, you can consider taking TRT. Now, I'm not a doctor. I'm not saying, yeah, you should definitely do this. Oh yeah, you have to get on TRT. You can increase things naturally, but there's a lot of outside factors we can't fix. There's a lot of things that we don't have control over, and men's testosterone has been declining a lot. So of course, if you still have low levels, it is important to get blood work done, but most importantly, consult a doctor. I'm not a medical professional. That's a disclaimer. I don't have any degrees. As always, consult a doctor, everybody you need to talk to, get your blood work done. And remember, give it a lot of research and think about it, but that is genuinely something you can do to give yourself more energy. And it's pretty underrated, if I'm being honest.